Welcome back to Texas Truck Channel. I'm Brian.
I'm Craig.
And this week we've got, well, the #1 seller in the truck segment, the 2024.
What, truck segment?
Yeah, truck segment.
You mean everything?
Oh, sorry, I meant everything. Good catch. This is the 2024 F-150, and this is, I know it's not all new, but it is refreshed, and there's a lot of changes, more than we thought. It's already been a great product. It's just improved now, namely with the grille. This particular trim, let me take the...
Wait, what's it?
It's a Monroney.
Oh, okay.
It has some glue on my back. Let's just get into the nitty gritty. $51,000 as spec. This is an STX trim, but it has some options. You've got the 5-liter V8, which is the most important option, at $1,370.
Bargain of the year.
Absolutely. The blackout package at $1,485. And that's actually it. It's kind of an expensive truck for an STX, but that is just the going rate of vehicles today. It's not even four-wheel drive, doesn't have a diff lock, and it's a 315 axle ratio. Great for miles per gallon, makes this thing rev forever. When you're on the road. So that is kind of entertaining because you get to hear this sweet thing. But let's talk about the changes real quick. The STX in particular has its own new nose, and you have this black grille. We happen to be in a blackout package, so everything kind of looks the same, but the emblem is black with white over it instead of blue. This whole section has no monochromatic to it. It's flat black. So if you had like a blue or a red or a silver, this would stand out even more. Looks a lot like the bullnose F-150s of the 80s that had the blackout like the XLs back then. We'll drop a photo in here to show you what we're talking about.
Looks good.
I think it looks great. And when it's on, these are your daytime running lights, or just these parking lights. They look super, super clean. Really big fan of that. Now, being STX, you do get fog lights. Everything is LED. Before we get off target, I want to talk about our boys at Schottenkirk. Raupe is the person that helped us out with this. He's our go-to guy there. These guys are awesome. And as you guys know, Ford only has so much stuff in stock in their press fleet. We have to go to the dealer to get anything that's not top trim. And much like you guys, we don't want a platinum every time. We want the entry-level truck. And this is still expensive, but at 50 grand, that is the entry level. We want to represent that because that's what people care about. That's what we care about. So if you want to check out one for yourself, you're in North Texas, check out Raupe at Schottenkirk. His contact info is down below. All right, come on down to Wheeltown. We have 20s on this thing, which actually these wheels look really, really good. It has a multi-spoke design. It's a matte black, not a gloss, which means brake dust will basically not be visible on here, which is probably a good thing. It is a 275/60/20. It's actually a pretty tall tire. Goodyear Territory HT, not an all-terrain. That's okay. This is a street truck, not an off-road truck, and they are very quiet and playing on some back roads on the way here handle better than you would think.
Run.
Yeah.
Before you leave here, I thought it was a blackout package.
Well, don't worry with these guys. You got to see where the lugs are.
Gotta have some chrome.
Yeah, well, you can change that though if you want. Easy change. I'm with you. Maybe this should be black too. Down the side, traditional banner on the side. It is a functional vent. It is STX, and this is not chromed out. It is blacked out because of the blackout package. Side mirror. It is a mirror. It folds with your hand. There's no button for that, but
hey, the good thing with a black truck and a blackout package, this base mirror looks like it's part of the package.
Well, that's the thing. Everything's flat black because it's plastic. It looks better here. It doesn't look cheap. It just kind of blends. It's kind of the trick here. Also, this thing still has lane keep and departure. All that stuff standard on this truck. That's kind of nice. On the door, it has the auto. Well, no, it doesn't do that. It has a keyhole.
What is this?
And that's what this is for. That's how you can do it, or you can just do this. No remote start though. That's kind of a bummer. You do have a side step with the STX, which is out of the way. Happy to report that. It's not too low. I would keep it for my spouse. Wouldn't complain about it. We know what's happening here, Craig. We already know.
When
the people already know. Ford knows that's the way to do it. Just a little easy fuel. Helps the world go around. Coming up back, there's one thing we got to point out. Look in there, Craig. No coil suspension here. This is not a Raptor. It doesn't get coils on the lower trims, and it still has basically a single leaf with an overload leaf. I cannot believe it handles and performs and gets the payload numbers that it does with that kind of design, but it works. I'm not complaining about it.
1,964 pounds.
Wait, that's a payload?
Yeah.
1,964 pounds?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Man, two-wheel drive helps because there's less vehicle weight in and of itself. That's why the two-wheel drives are better tugboats. I'll leave the bed for Craig on the inside, but let's check out this rear bumper. Also metal, not some ARB optional that some brands like to do to you.
This isn't even an off-road spec. What the heck?
It's just a real bumper. Novelty. 2-inch receiver. The switch has moved over here for the plugs. Not switch, the plug-in for the trailer light. 7-way on top, 4-way on the flat. It used to be on that side.
Yeah, good point. It used to be.
Yeah, it has moved.
Okay.
They've kept the embossing, I don't like that, but who gives a crap? This is a Coyote, man. Let's hear it. That is how God intended it. No turbos in the way, all cylinders, all displacement. Let's go look at that. This time, boys and girls, the real reason why we're here. Holy crap, look at that thing.
America.
Oh my gosh. And look, I know it's not an LS, but that's okay because it's better out of personal opinion. And
whoa, there you go.
Lay it down.
Please send your email to Brian at brakecheckshow@gmail.com.
Look. If you need a tractor, you need it to be flat torque curve forever, LS is your jam. You need it to rev and be awesome and swell, Ford's got you covered. 4 valves per cylinder, 4 cams, twin independent variable valve timing, direct and port injection, and cylinder deactivation that doesn't perform poorly. We've used a lot of those systems, multi-displacement stuff. This one just works. No hiccups, no noticeable changes while you're driving. Just works, gets good mileage, 400 horsepower, 410 foot-pounds of torque paired to a 10-speed automatic that makes a little bit of humming noise around town, but more on that later. I think it's time to check out the interior.
Ryan, time to check out the STX 2-wheel drive, but it's still functional because it's a real truck and Ford's got that down. No auto tailgate here because there's nothing on my key, I don't think. Nope, nothing, just lock and unlock, just like Brian showed us earlier. Let's open the tailgate. Okay, it's not dampened.
Okay.
Got to be careful, that's why I stood back. The good news is, Brian.
We check that first. Okay.
Yes, once we get it open though, Brian, we do actually get, look, standard, this is a base package. You get the little
C-clamp holders
there. That's actually really convenient.
But you can't measure things.
No, you can't measure things, you just have to use boy math now.
Okay.
Sweetie, that's 6 inches. And so,
More that out.
you get bottle openers here, or tie down straps, holders. That's what I meant. But that, in all seriousness though, simple tailgate, but functional and effective. This is the stuff that Ford does that separates them ahead of the other truck makers. I'm just saying. All right, get in the back. No spray-in bed liner here. This is I haven't seen a bed like this in a long time.
Wait, can you throw a toolbox on this?
Well, you might want to be careful with that because it is aluminum.
Oh, okay, all right.
No composite, no spray-in bed liner here, and no steel, just aluminum, baby. We do get a little storage cubby here. That seems new. I like that.
Yeah, we didn't have that before.
Toe straps, whatever we need to throw in there.
Nice.
Or maybe the kid's tablet. Maybe that's tablet gel.
Or dirty diaper.
No Easter eggs there. Interesting. Okay.
Over this side.
Let's go to this side. We get another little cubby hole, and we get more stuff. Okay, so in all seriousness though, look, tie downs in the corners, not in the floor.
Who are we talking about here?
Toyota. Like that because it stays out of the way of whatever you've got in here. That's really nice. And then more tie downs up front, up in the middle of the cab, which is good because when you're up here trying to tie something down on here, you can't reach it. It's a little higher up. That's a good spot. A very functional space. Let's move to the cab. All right, Ryan, moving on into the interior, the STX. First off, let's start with this door. Opens pretty wide, you get plenty of room, easy access, ingress, egress. Door sill is not padded, but you know, it's got a nice texture on it. I do like that texture, that looks pretty good. Moving on down to the armrest, it is padded, and you get the door pull that holds your cell phone or a wallet, or whatever else you need to do. This is your juice box holder right there. And then farther down, you get another mid-tier little bin. I like that a lot. And then your water bottle holder at the very bottom. Let's move into the interior. Brian, look at these seats. One of the things you get with the STX trim is it's cloth, but you also get this nice little yellow stitching. I like that yellow stitching. That's kind of cool. I think it separates it. It's kind of cool looking, looks really neat. Let's flip this up.
Oh my gosh.
This is why you do it. Look at this. You look at all this room you get. That's awesome.
Hey, where's the hump?
Nothing. No, this is.
And by the way, it's not just one other brand. All the other brands have a hump here, whether it's Ram or Toyota or whoever.
Okay, Brian, let's see if there's room though, because maybe there's a trade-off. The only trade-off I can see so far, there's not a center armrest.
Oh, okay.
Different trim levels, you will actually get a center armrest. That's not specific to all F-150. It says STX. Moving back here, Brian, one of the things I do like, even though STX, we get rear AC, that's really nice. We get a charger plug there and another charger plug down here, USB-C 2 ports, kind of nice.
Okay.
And then, just like all full-size trucks, you get room for everything.
And phone holders in the middle.
Phone holders in the middle, mat pockets in the back.
Dual
Brian,
navigators.
There's not a panoramic roof here, which means, look at this room I have. I mean, that is, I could wear a cowboy hat here. We're in Texas.
We know where this is going.
Let's see if Brian can fit in here and get in here.
Room for days, dude.
And that's why we do that. So STX, we don't get a split rear window, and it's not a Toyota, so it doesn't fold down. Moving on to the front, Brian, let's check out the door. Not padded up front either. Kind of disappointing. Was hoping it would be, but you know what? It doesn't really matter. Let's move on down to the next level. You get a padded armrest, and you get a phone holder with a door pull. That's the best door handle in all of car
Humanity.
Yep. Whatever that means.
Whatever that means.
You get a mid-level spot to put junk and straw wrappers, Starbucks wrappers, and then plenty of room for bottles or maps or whatever it is you need to put down there in the bottom. Let's get into the seat, Brian. I want to start about this same thing with the seat in the back. Get the yellow stitching. Looks really cool. It doesn't go anywhere on the dash. It's just to the seats, and it's not in the center armrest. Kind of interesting.
That is interesting. White and yellow.
But it's fine. I like it. All right, Brian, get into the seat, Brian. Very interesting, at least with the STX. We haven't been in the other trims. We don't know. These things have just come out.
Well, hang on. We've been in an XLT. It does have adjustable height.
Good point. XLT does have adjustable height. STX does not. And the base seating height is, Brian, I'm just going to tell you, really high.
Put it at your eyeballs.
I'm only 5'9". This is my eyeballs, and I am looking straight out this. Like, I'm looking at this part of the window.
Now try your visor. Oh, the sun's out.
Oh, can't see anything. You literally duck down.
It's too much.
It's just really tall. It's almost too much, Brian. A little carried away in my opinion. You do get a sunglass holder up here. I point that out because there's modern trucks these days. You don't get that, GM.
A lot of cars.
With Ford now, you get a lot of standard safety stuff in the base packages. More and more car companies are doing that. Ford's doing the same thing. We're adding standard safety stuff, you know,
auto high beams.
This has collision stuff, auto high beams.
All self-driving, lane keep, departure, has all that.
Which is really nice. More and more need to do that. I'm glad that that's becoming more and more a thing. Brian, you may notice this. See this big blank space?
Yeah, that's the optional screen, right?
No, that's the base screen. Even in the XL now, you get this full base screen. I love that. That is a great thing. And Brian, looking over to the base model, I kind of like this. So a lot of trucks will have a little button here and a little cubby. You can store things.
Door on it.
This is just open it up. You can throw your cell phone in there. You don't have to hit a button. You just throw it in there.
So hey,
that's actually really nice. I like this better than the cubby.
I was talking to someone about this in my personal life and mentioned how a different vehicle that I don't need to mention, the door wouldn't open. And I made the joke of Ford doesn't do doors on these now.
Yeah.
On the lower trim, they said, well, my wife likes to hide her stuff. They don't want their junk in plain sight.
Okay.
So they missed the door.
But if I'm a passenger, I like to just throw my phone there. That's kind of nice. I don't know.
Temporary storage.
Let us know in the comments what you prefer. Should that be lockable and covered, or you just like it out in the open and you can throw stuff in? I don't know.
Right.
It's your preference. Chargers over here, USB-C, USB-C, old school charger, drive mode. You don't get four-wheel drive, so it's just a drive mode button. So sport, you know, and that fun stuff. Brian, for
coins.
What are coins?
I don't know.
Okay, moving on.
Your Bitcoins go there.
Bitcoins. Down in the center console, there's gobs of room for Starbucks, Dr. Pepper Zero Sugars. That's not a plug. You get lots of room because the shifter's over here. Look at that. That's where it should be, Brian. Yes, that is where it should be. And then right below that, that's not a start button. That's a
Is that an anagram?
key holder. Look at this. We put that bad boy in there. It holds a key. You don't have to worry about that. Let's start it up and let's see what kind of graphics we get. Ooh, built Ford Tough. Nice.
That's cute. I like that.
Very cute. So you do, the door's not ajar, it's a door. You get some different graphics here. One of the things I do like is the base packages now, you get this big digital screen. That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, the digital cluster is standard now. There is no analog gauge on any trim now. I know, here we go, watching a landmine.
Pour one out for the analog gauge cluster. Sorry for y'all. Anyways, but the digital cluster is nice, and I actually do like it. It looks really good, and it's a little bit configurable. You can't do a whole lot, but it changes with the mode. Let's change those modes. And we're in normal, now we're in slippery. We may use that in the 0-60 in a minute. I don't know, we'll see. And we get, what other modes we get in two-wheel drive? Trail, there's a trail mode for light. It says light off-roading, Brian.
Okay.
Because you don't want to do heavy off-roading. And then you get tow haul, which is what you should be on all the time because you're hauling butt, am I right? Eco mode,
has another mode for that.
Kind of useless. And then sport mode, spirited on-road driving. And speaking of that, Brian, I think it's time for 0-60.
Let's do it.
All right, Brian. All of America wants to know what this V8 can do. Because I don't know how much longer this thing will be in this world. So,
well, according to Jim Farley, for as long as it needs to be.
Oh, thank you, Jim Farley.
Thank you, Jim Farley.
Brian, two-wheel drive, it's wet. What are you going to do? This is going to be hard. This is actually the hardest launch we've done in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a real challenge, and I'm not, just temper your expectations. This is not an all-wheel drive launch. Traction is off, because we tried it with it on. It was just not happening.
Okay.
And then sport mode, and I'm just going to feather it a bunch.
Hit it.
Load a bench.
Wheel spin, more wheel spin,
Oh, too much.
more wheel spin, more wheel spin.
60.
Okay.
What'd you get?
Well, Brian, 9.35.
Okay.
Not a good run for 400 horsepower, but talk us through that, why that's really not the worst run, because what's going on here?
Well, I'm going to go back to normal mode, so it does normal non-kill mode activities.
Okay.
Look, my first run was 11.3.
Really bad.
Really bad, because the road was, we dried a little bit with some activities. The best I pulled out of it was a 6.92.
Okay, that's actually not bad.
That's pretty good.
This is a big
Yeah.
full-size truck, two-wheel drive. This is about the worst condition we could be testing a vehicle in as far as traction goes.
No locker, no limited slip, and the gear ratio is so tall that first gear is really long.
Yes.
Before you can try to get second to make a difference to control that wheel speed. It's just challenging. That's what it is.
Just hard to do until driving a day like today.
Absolutely.
That said, Brian, I got the pleasure of filming, which means I was outside of the cab.
Yep.
Sounds good inside here too, by the way.
It's glorious.
But it sounds great outside the cab. It just...
That was at 60 miles an hour with wheel spin.
It just sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it's the best.
Look, I hope Jim Farley's not lying and that the 5-liter V8 is going to be here forever.
Yep.
Because I'm so glad it's still here and you can still get it, because this is the engine to get. What happened is Ford made two really good engines.
Yeah.
They made the 5.0 and the 3.5 EcoBeast.
Yep.
And you can't go wrong with either one. This one just sounds better.
Well, and I wouldn't fault anyone for getting the EcoBeast over this. But the gap between them has never been smaller than it is right now.
Yeah.
Now you go to the Raptors, the number gets a little bit higher.
Sure.
But the normal one's what, 450 and 510 on the EcoBoost?
Ridiculous.
This is 400 and 410. I'm going to tell you, in the real world, those are a lot closer than you think.
And one just sounds better.
And this one sounds like bald eagles on fire while singing. It just everybody wins.
This is what a truck sounds supposed to make.
Absolutely. So for those guys that are like, I don't want a hair dryer in my motor and all that kind of stuff, Ford's got you covered, man. They still do it. So. All that being said, ride and drive, look, this is the first two-wheel drive one I've driven since your old truck, I think?
Yeah, the old EcoBeast, the original EcoBeast.
Right, the 3.5 first gen. This is a, put seating position aside, because that's kind of annoying. What a thing to drive. It rides great.
I don't know how that leaf spring back there. Everybody's like, cool.
It rides great. It's awesome. Well, it's actually more, so I'm thinking of our Tacoma has a coil spring on it. The rear's doing stuff all the time.
Yeah.
This is just kind of like, no, we're a truck. We know what we're doing. We're going to be like this.
And 1,900 pounds payload.
That's a big number.
That's a lot. That's, in the old days, a 1-ton, quote unquote.
Absolutely. So all that covered, it's so hard to go wrong with these. This is the modern day sedan, at least in Texas. And look, they work. They've got way more room than most of your crossovers do.
Real quick, 24 refresh. What do you think overall?
I like the standard bigger screen. That's what all screens should be. I wish the old gauges existed, but these are actually pretty decent. They've trimmed down some packages so that you have to like get a package to get something you want, which is kind of annoying. But STX has never looked better. Agreed. With that, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Leave us the comments which trim you like the best and whether or not you would get the 5.0 or the 3.5. 5.0. There is a right answer to that. Thanks for watching.